What are Matt and I working on? What are we working on, Matt? Turn that hand back over. Flatten it out just a little more till it just skates. See that? I'm sharing some of my obsessive compulsive techniques with Matt.
I'm at a stage in my saddle making that I really wanted to refine some things and really get closer to making some showpiece type stuff. And you know, I've been used to just making working saddles and things like that. So looking at Gordon's work, he's got the refinement mastered. So when he offered the chance for me to come up and pick his brain and have him show me some stuff, I jumped on it, and this is a deal that we'll never stop learning.
The only real learning happens if and sticks if there's curiosity there. You know, there's hardly anything that I look at that I don't think about how it was made, you know, and what were the trades and what were the skills necessary. And this one isn't even ancient. This might go back, it might go back to the 20s. And you just look at it and go, wow, that's just asking to be sat in. Look how close that is to your thigh. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the magic right here. This is the most comfortable saddle I've ever sat in. It was like, I mean, a rocking horse moves more, you know, because it's traveling on those rockers. You know, it was just like, it was so much fun. And that's because the saddle put me where I needed to be.
Yeah.
And all these other disciplines, we can learn from them. And there's a lot of places to look besides just other saddle makers. And the past is a pretty good
place to start.
It's a pretty good place to look. But I'd say that the best old world skills that I've learned came from old texts or watching people that it was their job to keep the history alive. So like at Colonial Williamsburg, the boot makers and the harness makers and that. There's fundamentals, and if you don't look at some historical documents, you just can't know any other way. You know, there's some really old harness makers texts that will talk about the thicknesses of leather, so how many stitches per inch, what kind of awl, how many cords in the linen twist, what size thread, basically. And that is a firm footing. But making a tight, clean saddle with all the layers sitting right, that's, where do you go? But there's no textbook, there's no tests, there's no assignment, and there's no critique after. You want to excel at what you're doing, but where do you go, and will the place you go hold you to a high standard? And that's what I see missing in a lot of online stuff. It's real hit or miss. I know myself, I just didn't want to not do, work that would stand up with old saddles that I'd seen. If you're pursuing that and you find out that it's not all just fun, then a lot of people, they're done with it. But if you're serious about it and you want to find a quote shortcut, you take the long cut, because that's the only short way to professionalism, is by learning the nuts and bolts of designing something and making it.
You should invest in your skills, invest in yourself so you can be better.
Right.
And that's what I'm doing here with Gordon today. He's got 30 years of experience on me, and I'm trying to get all I can out of the couple of days I get to spend with him. And so far, we've been here 4 hours, and I've learned things that had never dawned on me before. So, pretty crazy fun day so far.
Look how even that's getting now. Would you have done any of this?
I've used the Sureform on this.
Would you have done any more to this before you put the seat on?
I would have sure formed it like this, but I wouldn't have
okay.
taken it down to where you've had me take it down to, no.